Hey everyone, and welcome back to math. Here we go. We're in chapter 6, and we are on lesson 4. So, as you notice, we skipped lesson 3. We're going to come back to it later because it goes from back and forth from multiplication to division. And as a third grade in the district, we have decided to make sure that we continue on with multiplication to get mastery of the skill of multiplication. And then when we start to tackle division, we'll come back to those skills and those lessons. So today you are on page 313. So take a moment, find page 313 in your book, pause this video, and once you find your page, start it back up. And let's get started. So our essential question is, what is the importance of patterns in learning multiplication and division? So we've continued talking about patterns. We started this with looking at the multiplication table and looking at all the patterns within the numbers, seeing some tricks that we could see within that pattern and ways to memorize our factors and products when it comes to multiplication. Today we're going to be looking at the fives. So when we multiply by 5, we're going to be thinking about some patterns that we can see and experience when we go through the 5-row or column in the multiplication table. So let's get started. It says you can use patterns to multiply by 5. Multiplying by a number is the same as skip counting by that number. So you guys understand already that multiplying is the same as repeated addition. We're just thinking about the fact that you are saying 5 times 2 is 2 5s. So your repeated addition is 5 plus 5. So however many times you're multiplying by, that's how many times you're repeating that addition, that skip count. So math in my world, example 1, Leandro has 7 nickels. So Leandro has 7 nickels, and automatically I want to think that a nickel is worth 5 cents. So since a nickel is worth 5 cents, how much money does he have when he has 7 5 cents? So 7 nickels. Well, if you had 7 nickels, you might think that you have them in your hand and you start to count them by 5. So you say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So you're counting your nickels like that versus saying, I have 7 nickels, each one is 5 cents, each saying multiply, so 7 times 5 is 35. So this whole idea of that is that we are saying that we understand that there's a repeated addition fact that happens when we do count 7 5s. So 7 nickels is 35 cents. 7 times 5 is 35 cents. So Leandro has 35 cents. When you multiply by 5, the product will always end in 0 or 5. Don't forget, we did this on lesson 1. So we were looking at the pattern of 5s. And when you have a factor of 5, you're always going to end with a 0 or a 5. So you can add the 1 and the 1. That's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and so forth until kingdom come. Let's move on. Notice the patterns in the products: 0, 5, 0, 5. Extend the pattern: 4 times 5. So 4 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have 20. And then next, extend it further: 5 times 5, 25. Now I got to delete and move down. So we're extending the pattern further: 6 times 5, 30. 7 times 5, 35. And so forth. So understanding that that pattern will continue to go on and on forever with a 0 and a 5, 0 and a 5. Moving on, we are looking at example number 2. A watermelon patch has 6 rows of watermelons. Each row has 5 watermelons. How many watermelons are in the farmer's patch? Write a multiplication sentence with a symbol for the unknown. Now, they already did that for us. Write a multiplication sentence, 6 times 5, with a symbol, the little square, for the unknown. Now, let's go into it. It says, draw an array with 6 rows. Try not to sneeze. So we have draw an array with 6 rows. An array is a rectangle, and they want 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, when we are drawing arrays, we cut it one less time than the amount of rows we want. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because we cut it 5 times. So we have an array with 6 rows. Now use the commutative property to draw another array with 5 rows. So first things first, we have 6 times 5. So they didn't tell us to draw 5 columns, but we need to. So we have 6 rows of 5. So we need 4 cuts down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now they're saying, okay, now that you've done that, can you do it the opposite way? So we have 6 times 5. Now they want 5 times 6. So we're going to do 4 cuts across. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do 5 cuts down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have 6 across and 5 down. Here we have 6 down and 5 across. Both of these are equal to 30. So you have 30 little boxes within or inside. So there are 6 rows of 5, and over here there are 5 rows of 6. Now again, this is just proving the commutative property of multiplication. So 6 times 5 is 30, so 5 times 6 is 30. The unknown number is 30. The unknown number is 30. And that means that there are 30 watermelons in the farmer's patch. So if you were to consider that each one of these is a watermelon, you're saying that he could have 6 rows with 5 watermelons, or he could have 5 rows with 6 watermelons. But it doesn't matter which way he does that, he's going to have 30 total watermelons. Hopefully you see that and understand why we are doing it. We're just showing that you can flip the numbers in multiplication and get the same answer. Explain why the 5's facts might be easier to remember than other facts. If you said because it always ends in 0 and 5, you understand the pattern and you can figure out those 5's super quickly. Let's check it out. So we have skip count by 5's to find the product. Draw lines to match. So we have 4 times 5, which is 4 5's. 4 5's is the second one. Draw a line to match and write the answer. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, or 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 5 is 3 5's. Draw the line to match. 5, 10, 15. Use your hand as well. 5, 10, 15. So you can see that you did 3. Next, 8 times 5 is 8 5's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 5's. Draw the line to match and then count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So 8 times is 40. So we have 40 in that box. And then finally, 7 times 5. Wow, what did I do, sir? I'm going to delete that line I drew because I made a weird line. A key. There we go. We're back. Hopefully you didn't make the mistake I made. You were probably yelling at the screen like, yo, Hester, you did it wrong. All right, so let's count them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 7 times 5 is 35. Write it down. There you go. All right, I'm going to delete this. If you need it, pause it. And we're moving on. So now we are done with our guided practice, and that means that you are in independent practice. You are going to complete the entire page on your own right now. Check it out, see how well you do. Come back to me when you're finished, and I will go through all of these answers with you. Pause this video and do your work. Welcome back, guys. So hopefully you felt confident in what you were doing here, and now you can check your work. 2 times 5, 10. 5 plus 5, 10. 3 times 5, 15, which is the same as 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 15. 7 times 5, 35. And they want us to write 7 plus 7 plus... No. Come on, man. They want us to write 5 7 times. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 5 equals 35. Then they have 8 times 5, 40. And now you have 5 plus 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 5, which is 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those are S's, but they were supposed to be 5s. You get the point. 25, 5 times 5, so 5 5s. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. And that is 25. 9 times 5, they are killing us. 45. 5 plus 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 5. 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we got it. Check your work. Hopefully you did well with that. If not, I'm glad that you were able to look at this video and see what you got wrong. Let's keep going. 7 rows of 5. Draw an array. Don't forget to read the directions. Draw an array. So we need an array, which is a rectangle. We need 7 rows, so we're going to cut it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to get tight. 5, 6. You see what I did there? Rows of 5, so we're going to cut it down 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 7 rows of 5. That's multiplication. 7 times 5 is 35. 3 rows of 5. 1, 2 times to make 3 rows. 4 times to make 5. Now we have 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Now we have 4 rows of 5. Cut it 3 times. Cut it 4 times. So we have 4 times 5. 4 times 5 equals 20. Next, find each unknown. Use the commutative property. Blank times 6 or 6 times blank equals 30. The unknown is 5. 5 times what equals 10, or what times 5 equals 10? 2. 9 times 5 or 5 times 9? 45. Let's go. Time to move on. Check your work on the back. So on the back, we are looking at some word problems. So don't forget, word problems need word answers. Don't forget your word answer here. So Kai, Lakita, and Maxwell collected acorns. I used to collect acorns sometimes. I don't have any trees with acorns now. You might. If each gets 5 acorns, how many acorns did they collect? Well, how many kids were there? 1, 2, 3. What if they aren't kids? What if they like grandparents and they're just like really old people and they're bored, so they go out and they're collecting acorns? All right, moving on. So we have 3 people. They're collecting acorns and they each collect 5. So you have 3 people each collect acorns. They each get 5. 3 times 5 equals 15 acorns. Hopefully you figured that one out. If not, hopefully my description helped. Explain to a friend. A sunflower costs $6. Evelyn wants to buy 2. Does she have enough money if she has 3 $5 bills? Explain. So 3 $5 bills. I have 3 times $5. 3 times $5 equals, I know that I have to bring my dollar sign over. 3 times 5 is 5, 10, 15. So 3 times 5 is $15. Wow, that looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? I'm going to just extend this dollar sign. So 3 times 5 equals $15. Well, $15 is how much she has, Evelyn. So Evelyn has $15. 2 $6 plants equals 2 times 6, 6, 12. So we have $12 worth of plants. Does she have enough money? Yes. She, what? She has more than $12. There you go. There are 82 members in a band. That's a lot of people in that band. Part of the band divides into 9 equal groups of 5. How many members are not in a group of 5? This is a tough one, guys. And this is a tough one because they're saying that there's a total of 82 kids. Unless if it's like an adult band with that many people, but 9 equal groups of 5. So 9 times 5. Remember, 9 groups of 5. So 9 groups, and each group has 5. That's 9 times 5 equals 45 kids in groups. So it asks us at the end, how many members are not in a group? So we have 82 total. We have 45 in groups. How many are not in groups? What's the difference? You're going to have to subtract. You borrow from the 8. It becomes a 7. The 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. 37 kids or band members are not in groups. And that brings us to the bottom. And I know a lot of you guys will be like, in class, you don't make us do the hot problem. Well, here we are. I'm doing the hot problem. Let's check it out. Circle the strategy that will not help you find 6 times 5. So which one will not do multiplication 6 times 5? Skip counting, that's multiplication, so that counts. Make an array, that's multiplication, so that counts. Draw a picture, sure, draw a picture of groups, equal groups. So the only one that does not is rounding. Rounding is not multiplying. If you already had that, wonderful job. If not, it's okay. That's what I'm here for. What do you notice about all the products of 5? Use the multiplication in the table if needed. They all end in 0, well, 0 and 5. All right. So let's check out your homework. I want to give you some numbers that you need to make sure that you get done for today to practice this skill that we went over. So let's take a look. The top is an example to help you out. You're doing numbers 1, 3. Move it to the back. So numbers 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 7. Each pair of tennis shoes costs $25. If Andrea has 4 $5 bills, does she have enough money? This is the same problem that we just did, except different numbers. So she has 4 $5 bills. Does she have enough to spend $25? Next, we have for a craft, each student will need 5 rubber bands. There are 8 students, 9 bags will be needed. I'm trying to pick which one I think would be best suited for us in this setting. Number 9 would be the best. Let's look at it. For a craft, each student will need 5 rubber bands. So they need 5 rubber bands for each student. There's 8 students. So 8 times 5 is how many they need. So they need that many. It says rubber bands come in bags of 9. How many bags will they need? So you have this much is needed. So then 9 times what equals more than this? So look, that box goes here. So once you know this, put it here. What times 9 equals that? And that's how many bags of rubber bands are needed. And then how much more is this than this? So let's say you had 50 and you only needed 40, you would have 10 rubber bands left over. So that's what they're asking in the second question. All right, guys. And then make sure you do number 10. So you have numbers 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 for your homework. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. I'll put it on the Google Classroom too. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. Get it. Have a great day, guys. Palm it. Oops. Well, there you go. Sometimes that happens. Palm it.